Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight for News 410. I'm Jessica Bowman.
And I'm Matt Breen. After 2 weeks of testimony and more than 7 hours of deliberations, a Dakota County jury convicted Jason Jones of murder and arson. And
the same jury has also ruled his crimes are eligible for the death penalty. KTV's Katie Koppel has more from the Dakota County Courthouse.
After 2 weeks of trial, 44-year-old Jason Jones has been convicted of murder. Convicted in the shooting deaths of 4 people in Laurel, Nebraska on August 4th, 2022. The jury found Jones guilty of 4 counts of first-degree murder and 4 counts of use of a firearm to commit a felony in the shooting deaths of Michelle Ebeling, Jean Twyford, Janet Twyford, and Dana Twyford. Jones initially faced first-degree arson charges as both crime scenes were set on fire, but the jury convicted him of second-degree arson. Jones' defense team argued their client could not be found guilty of first-degree arson because that charge requires a person to commit the act of arson knowing there is a live person inside. His defense team said the 4 victims were already dead when the fires started, just as a forensic pathologist testified, so Jones could not be convicted of first-degree arson. The jury agreed, convicting him of second-degree arson. The first-degree murder conviction means Jones could get the death penalty in Nebraska. Following the conviction came an aggravated circumstances hearing to decide whether Jones will face the death penalty. A jury decides if the case is eligible for the death penalty, but the final decision on the death penalty is made by a panel of 3 judges. One circumstance the jury considered is whether Jones committed the acts in succession as one act. The defense says the murders of the Twyford family and Michelle Ebeling were 2 separate acts. They also argue that Jones had no time to think when realizing that Janet and Dana Twyford were in the house, and that they were, quote, caught in the crossfire and not killed to help Jones conceal his identity as Jean Twyford's killer. It took the jury about 45 minutes to decide on the 6 presented aggressors set by the state, and they agreed all were true, which means Jones could face the death penalty. So what comes next is that 3-judge panel will be convened. One of those judges will be Judge Brian Meismer, who presided over this case, and then 2 other Nebraska judges. They will decide if Jason Jones is sentenced to death or life in prison. Reporting outside the Dakota County Courthouse, Katie Koppel, KTIV News 4.